Hey there, welcome to BioExpert. Time to test your NEET biology skills. Are you ready? Let's jump in. In bacterial chromosomes, the nucleic acid polymers are circular DNA molecule. Which of the following can be used as a biocontrol agent in the treatment of plant disease? Trichoderma. Which of the following glucose transporters is insulin dependent? GLUT4. Purines found both in DNA and RNA are adenine and guanine. Drug called heroin is synthesized by acetylation of morphine. Which part of the brain is responsible for thermoregulation? Hypothalamus. Which of the following protocols did aim for reducing emission of chlorofluorocarbons into the atmosphere? Montreal Protocol. Which of the following sexually transmitted diseases is not completely curable? Genital herpes. Thiobacillus is a group of bacteria helpful in carrying out chemoautotrophic fixation. Which of the following is a commercial blood cholesterol lowering agent? Statin. Which of the following features of genetic code does allow bacteria to produce human insulin by recombinant DNA technology? Genetic code is nearly universal. The ciliate epithelial cells are required to move particles or mucus in a specific direction in humans. These cells are mainly present in bronchioles and fallopian tubes. Conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, the first irreversible reaction of glycolysis, is catalyzed by hexokinase. The concept of omnicelluli cellula regarding cell division was first proposed by Rudolf Virchow. Colostrum, the yellowish fluid secreted by mother during the initial days of lactation, is very essential to impart immunity to the newborn infants because it contains immunoglobulin A. The frequency of recombination between gene pairs on the same chromosome, as a measure of the distance between genes, was explained by Alfred Sturtevant. Which of the following muscular disorders is inherited? Muscular dystrophy. A woman has an X-linked condition on one of her X chromosomes. This chromosome can be inherited by both sons and daughters. Which is the most common mechanism of genetic variation in the population of sexually reproducing organism? Recombination. In his classic experiments on pea plants, Mendel did not use pod length. Which Mendelian idea is depicted by a cross in which the F1 generation resembles both the parents? Codominance. Fruit color in squash is an example of dominant epistasis. Multiple alleles are present. At the same locus of the chromosome. A gene showing codominance has both alleles independently expressed in the heterozygote. Embryological support for evolution was disapproved by Carl Emst von Baer. Experimental verification of the chromosomal theory of inheritance was done by Morgan. The term linkage was coined by T.H. Morgan. Which one from those given below is the period for Mendel's hybridization experiments? 1856 to 1863. Who proved that DNA is basic genetic material? Hershey and Chase. Extranuclear inheritance occurs in chloroplast and mitochondria. In a DNA, percentage of thymine is 20. Then what will be the percentage of guanine? 30%. A DNA with unequal nitrogen bases would most probably be single-stranded. The first phase of translation is binding of mRNA to ribosome. The experimental proof for semi-conservative replication of DNA was first shown in bacterium. Which of the following is not a property of the genetic code? Ambiguous. Removal of RNA polymerase III from nucleoplasm will affect the synthesis of tRNA. Whose experiments cracked the DNA and discovered unequivocally that a genetic code is a triplet? Nirenberg and Mathai. Telomerase is an enzyme that is a ribonucleoprotein. In a mutational event, when adenine is replaced by guanine, it is a case of transition. Expressed sequence tags refers to genes expressed as RNA. In gene gun method used to introduce alien DNA into host cells, microparticles of metal are used. Tungsten or gold. During the purification process for recombinant DNA technology, addition of chilled ethanol precipitates out DNA. Which of the following ecological pyramids is generally inverted? Pyramid of biomass in a sea. Phloem in gymnosperms lacks both sieve tubes and companion cells. Identify the cells whose secretion protects the lining of gastrointestinal tract from various enzymes. Goblet cells. What is the site of perception of photoperiod necessary for induction of flowering in plants? Leaves. Placentation, in which ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary or in peripheral part, is parietal. Which of the following immune responses is responsible for rejection of kidney graft? Cell-mediated immune response. What is the genetic disorder in which an individual has an overall masculine development, gynecomastia, and is sterile? Klinefelter syndrome. What is the direction of movement of sugars in phloem? Bidirectional. Thanks for watching. And subscribe now for daily NEET Biology MCQs.